Good morning. Today I use Etched from 345 Soap Co. And I also talk about the Berkeley Pit, the killer of geese. Stay tuned. Hey everyone, how's it going? John Bonham here, Cape Cod Wet Shaving. Good to be back. Another shave, another great day. It was just pouring the rain, thundering, and all that crap. It has stopped for now, but it's probably probably will pick up again because it's supposed to. So you might hear some stuff in the background. I have a window right to my left. So, all right, good shave today. Today I'm going to be using Etched from 345 Soap Co. This is a barbershop. This was a collaboration that John did with a guy named Henry. I'm not sure who that is. I'm sure I've come across him. I just don't know who it is off the top of my head. It's technically what I would call a dark barbershop. It is powdery, just like a normal barbershop, but it also has notes of coffee and leather in it. So it's a really, really nice barbershop with a dark twist to it. John himself described it as warm and inviting, and I can't think of a better description than that. So that did nothing. I was trying to show that. There we go. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm going to be using the matching Aftershave Splash and the Balm. So good set. I like it a lot. I'm going to be using the RazoRock Amici. I'm assuming that's how you pronounce that. Synthetic. I've been doing a lot more synthetics than I normally do lately. Just to be honest with you, more because they match the shave of the day photo. And I am not big on switching stuff between the photo itself and the video. So I will be using the Shave Co. Shadow Monster. So I cannot wait for that. One of my favorite razors, and I'll be using the Wilkinson sword, and it just dawned on me that I did not put a blade in the razor yet. So let me do that real quick while I talk about what I'll be doing if I can open the stupid thing. That's embarrassing. Give me 1 sec. Okay, I think I can safely say it's the first time that's happened to me when I did a video and got everything ready and did not put a blade in the freaking razor. So it's like trying to hop in a car without the keys. My son is texting me, and he's in school. That's always a good sign, isn't it? He wants to go walking around with his buddies, and it's supposed to rain until 3, right when he gets out of school. So now he's texting me, you know, it's letting up. Do you think it'll let up? You think I'll be able to go? Like, I don't know. But you notice what's going on around you. You know, the reason you're there in the building. Why don't we focus on that? Kids. He's 16, whatever. He's a good boy. Excuse the water, sorry. All right. So, real quick. I always say real quick. And it lasts like 5 minutes. But I did put this in the photo. I just said it's a pre-shave tester, which it is. It's technically a pre-shave / beard oil tester. I got the okay from the artisan to mention who it is. Otherwise, I was just going to say it's a tester and leave it at that. I'm not going to describe the ingredients or the scent notes, but I will say it's from McDuff's. So Sean sent me this along with another item that I didn't ask his okay. I should have thought of that, but whatever. So is that and another item, both to test. I have been using this. The scent's nice, and the ingredients are different. I'll just leave it at that. For an oil. I personally like it as a pre-shave. You can also use it as a beard oil. I was really hoping it would cool off a little bit, because that's when everything starts really itching on me. But I've been using it as a pre-shave for a while, and then I'm going to switch and start using it as an oil after that. But that's what that is. So, all right. I also have a bite of some kind here. a zit there, and a zit there. So I'm breaking out for some reason. I don't know if it's the weather or the fact that I'm eating like a bull shark, because in autumn all the goodies come out, the pumpkin and the cakes and the, you know, the good stuff comes out. So I'm pretty sure that's what it is. Oh, so let me get to lathering, guys. And I did not pre-soak my brush this time. I'm so used to doing it, but it is kind of just silly to do that because it is synthetic. So I just figured, you know, I'm all over the road here, like always. So anyone who hasn't tried 3, 4, 5 soaps, they're not bad. They're pretty good. I don't have a lot of theirs. I have, let's see, Apotheosis, All Red, which was my favorite, and this one. I think this one takes over as my favorite that I have from the Artisan so far. Just because I love my barbershops, as y'all know. But so today I will be talking about, so today's topic is little historic, mildly. I'd say mildly historic. It does date back to the mid 1950s when all of it started, but I mean really it's more of a thing that's famous for existing now. So I don't know if I'm going to branch off from the history. I mean, everything has snippets of history. If it's lasted longer than a second, it's historic, technically. Because everything exists and has a history to it, but you know what I mean. Like big topics. But this one caught my interest because I was looking, oh, what was I looking up? It always happens that way. I'm looking up one specific thing, or something will catch my interest, and then I'll go looking for stuff for that, and then I'll come across something else. So what I've started doing is compiling a list. If anything caught my attention, I write it down so I can go back later. But Berkeley Pit is located in Butte, Montana. Look at that lather. Butte, Montana. And it is an open air, open pit copper mine. Quick little snippet given to me by Bradley at GP Jammer. Hello, Bradley. Fellow historian. All around nice guy. That pit, Berkeley Pit, attracted more Irish than Boston because of the copper mine. I didn't know that. And that's quite a claim to make. But I do believe it. All right, Wilkinson sword, first use, fresh new blade. And I left it in the other room. I was going to hold it up and show you the little flap that's hard to get because there's a little tab you have to, that's about that big and your fingernail can't even fit it. So I actually have to use a pocket knife or the little, in this case I use the nail cleaner in my nail clippers. But sorry about all that. So it was opened in 1955, Berkeley Mine. And I got a bowl here to keep down on the water. So I'm going to do that. Opened in 1955, operated by Anaconda Copper Mining Co. Then later Atlantic Richfield Company, also known as ARCO, A-R-C-O. So it piqued my interest because I'm like, that sounds like something that would be in a mine in the Amazon rainforest or something, Anaconda. And the reason it's named the Anaconda Mining Company is because the vein that the copper was in was called the Anaconda vein. And I can only imagine it's because it was thick and wound like an anaconda. The ore vein, mineral vein, whatever. So pretty interesting there. It was closed. ironically, on Earth Day in 1982. I really kind of chuckled. There's a lot of ironic twists with this mine. So, the pit itself is a mile long and half a mile wide, which is about the size of 484 football fields. It is 1,800 feet deep, about 1,784 feet something. So basically 1,800 feet deep, which is deeper than all the Great Lakes, any of them. Not combined, but deeper than any of the Great Lakes. And yeah, 900 feet of that 1,800 is filled with water. Now here's where it gets crazy. It's filled with 900 feet of horribly polluted, highly acidic water. The pH level is about 2.6. I don't know a lot about pH levels, aside from our swimming pool. But the pH level, 2.6, is equivalent to the acidity of Coca-Cola, lemon juice, or gastric acid. Now, I don't know if you recall that old trick where you can put Coca-Cola on the battery terminals of your car and it'll eat away at the corrosion. And I myself have tried it and it works. This water is like swimming in that. Something that's acidic enough to take corrosion off your battery terminals. So that's no good. Real quick, here's a photo of the water. Boom. Isn't that yummy? Looks like Dr. Pepper or something though, doesn't it? Ugh, that's nasty. Red water. Good stuff. Everyone knows that, right? All right. So, get right here real quick. Starting to dry. That's quick. All right. The pit is full of heavy metals and dangerous chemicals such as copper, arsenic, cadmium, zinc, cobalt, and sulfuric acid. The sulfuric acid is diluted enough that it won't, because it can eat through steel. But it is diluted enough that it's still acidic as hell, but not in the way you think. So, still no good. Here we go. This stuff smells remarkable. It's good enough that you can tell it's a true barbershop. But it's dark enough that you get it's a really masculine barbershop is what I would call it. That's what I called it in my description of it on my post on Instagram. Barbershop's masculine. I'm not saying it's not. I'm just saying like unmistakably masculine due to the leather and all that. All right. Okay, so since its closure, the water level has risen to within 150 feet of the natural water level, which, by the way, the town of Butte, if you noticed in that picture, all right, the town of Butte is right there next to that pit, right up against it. The town of Butte exists because of that pit. And then you can see the wash going off into that pond. I forget the name of the pond. It's a weird name. But everyone's water source is the water table, 150 feet from that. And here's a picture side view, you know, split picture of the level of everything in it. That's no good. That danger level, it's, so the weird thing is this pit, the water is literally burrowing down through the bedrock. That's how acidic it is. It's burrowing down, but yet the water level's going up. So it's doing both. So they're really kind of, one day in history, Butte might be a ghost town. So in the history of the mine, about 1 billion tons of material was mined. Copper being the main focus for the mine, but there were also other minerals taken from the mine as well, such as silver and gold, which, as it turns out, is pretty standard. That actually happens quite often, that you'll be mining for gold, you'll find silver and copper. You'll be mining for silver, you'll find copper and gold. In this case, no different. So, pretty cool. Ooh. Ooh, that was close. Almost got my sideburn there. Which is alright, it would grow back. I need to trim it anyways. I love this razor, man. I love long handle razors. This is the king of it. I had someone, I posted on Facebook too, and they asked me if it was a trick of the photo, or is this razor really that long? I'm like, yeah, buddy. 6 inches of aeronautical aluminum bliss, which it is. All right. So 1 billion tons of material. Berkeley Pit is now one of the largest Superfund sites in the U.S. I couldn't see if it was in the world. I doubt it's in the world, because there's other parts of the world that are pretty scummy, unfortunately. But definitely one of the largest in the U.S. Copper levels in the water. Oh, I forgot to mention, the water treatment plant has been operating since October of 2019. So they did install a water treatment plant to start processing this water. And that water treatment plant has got its work cut out for it. So copper levels in the water are so high that the metal can be and has been mined directly from the water. So I'm assuming with this chemical treatment plant, whatever they take out, they can literally get copper out of the treated water. And here's a photo of, I think that might be one of the water treatment things. It might not be. It might just be ruins, but it's right there in that water. Look at that water. I mean, that's just unbelievable. I can't imagine how that would smell. That's crazy looking. But that's Berkeley Pit for you. Man, this stuff's drying. It's crazy. This is some good soap. I like it. Not bad. Not bad at all. Again, I haven't used a ton of his stuff. I've had no problems with it. Lathers very well. I was actually, because it's a little bit on the harder side. Not the hardest, not like Noble Otter hard. But I was a little worried about using the synthetic, but it lathered right up, man. It is thirsty though. Notice that. So I keep drying out. All right, so in 1995, here's where it starts getting a little grimy. In 1995, a flock of migrating geese landed in the pit, in the water of the pit. and they all died. 342 carcasses were removed from Berkeley Pit. So Arco tried to claim it was something weird. They tried to claim it was like a strain of some bird disease or something like that. And of course, everyone was kind of skeptical of that, but just to be sure, they did necropsies, which is basically an autopsy on an animal, I suppose. They did necropsies on the geese and found that the innards had ulcers and festering wounds inside in their bodies, on their insides. And burns, lined with burns and sores. And it's agreed that they drank the water and were exposed to it, and it obviously killed them. So that was kind of scary. Because if it did that to a bunch of birds, obviously, what's it going to do to a bunch of humans? On November 28th, 2016, now this is a big one. This is what made people start taking more action. About 10,000 traveling geese landed in Berkeley Pit to avoid a snowstorm. Thousands died. Several thousand. They say between 3,000 and 5,000 geese died. So that's a lot. I can't imagine cleaning up 3,000 to 5,000 goose bodies. Not to be morbid, I know I bring up death. It seems pretty frequently in these. I don't mean to. But I mean, you see, that's why I picked that photo for the cover of this video, is you see this big old scary looking black hole. It's very foreboding looking. And then these poor animals just land in it, not knowing like that's death. So, so Phoenix whalers, since that happened, Phoenix whalers have been installed around the pit to keep geese away. I didn't know what a Phoenix whaler was. I had to go look it up. That's a Phoenix whaler. And what happens is that light blinks, and at the same time the light flashes, it makes noise. Like, you know, scary noises that'll scare the piss out of any bird that tries to come near that pit. So that has helped tremendously in saving the bird population. The treatment plants, as I aforementioned, treat about 10 million gallons a day. I think I read there's more than one now. I think there's 2 of them, maybe more than that. But the cool thing is, here's the address, okay? 200 Shields Avenue, Butte, Montana. If you want to go see the pit, there's a viewing platform. They charge you $2 a person to enter the viewing platform, this viewing stand. And I did find a photo of the viewing stand, but it was posted by somebody and they had people, family or someone in the photo, so I didn't want to put it on here. I wouldn't want someone doing that to me. So I didn't put that picture, but it's pretty cool. It keeps you out of the danger zone. You're kind of above and back from the pit, but you got a perfect view down into it. It's pretty neat. But here's a crazy thing. One last little crazy thing before I pause and I wash my face. Protozoans, these specific ones, have been found to live in the waters of Berkeley Pit. The interesting thing about this, there's 2 interesting things. One, they're being studied as we speak. Okay. The first interesting thing is they eat these heavy metals. They consume them. So scientists immediately were like, well, that's interesting because we could use that for other disasters in other places. Just show up where there was like a mine spill. One just happened in Russia not too long ago. I don't know if you remember that. That whole river, I think it was a zinc mine, that whole river just turned bright red, state of emergency. And of course, Russia being Russia didn't, I guess, want a lot of help from people. But I do remember it very well. It happened, I think, the last year or so. That bacteria could have just been introduced to those waters and just consumed all the materials. So the second interesting thing, and this is the important one, the big one. First one's awesome, but this one's big. The waste they extrude, right, is it's an enzyme that has anti-cancer properties. So they eat these dangerous, harmful chemicals and materials and metals and excrete something, an enzyme that has shown to have anti-cancer properties. It's something like it adheres to the replicating cancerous cell wall and prevents the replicating, something like that. Isn't that incredible? I mean, just of all the places for something to appear at all, but let alone be beneficial on top of it, that's pretty freaking awesome, in my opinion. I think that's cool. But yeah, so that's Berkeley Pit. Give me a sec. Let me rinse this off. Shall be right back. All right, I'm back, guys. Obviously. Not bad, man. Post-shave with this stuff's good. Scent's really good. Dare I say, I think it might be one of my favorite barbershops. Definitely yummy. I think I mixed that enough. And shake it up again just to be sure. I don't think I mixed it enough. I like those darker ones. Who else came out with the dark barbershop that I really liked? Zingari. Zingari came out with the Master. That's a really good one. I love the Master. That's another one I need to use again on here. It's one of Heather's. And then the coffee really shines through with the splash. Speaking of coffee, completely forgot. Sterling, Columbia. If you like Folgers, don't try this because Folgers will become swill. A lot of people say it already is. I was a Maxwell House guy myself. Maxwell House is so good in a percolator. But I miss percolating. Sound like a euphemism. So anyone interested in this, you get the leather more in the soap, in my opinion. You get the coffee notes. I mean, the notes are in both the splash and the soap, but the leather really shines through in the soap quite a bit, and then the coffee shines through a lot in the splash. So, speaking of coffee. So yeah, I hope y'all like that one. A little different than what I've done, but it was just too cool. I mean, Earth Day in 1982. Ironic it was Earth Day. 1982 was a great year. Phenomenal year. The world, the heavens shone with rainbows and birds chirped in unison across the globe on January 28th of 1982. Can you guess why? I'm just kidding. I sound like a North Korean leader. Mountains were made upon my birth. Oh, man. And the balm. I had someone ask me why I don't wait between the splash and the balm applications. Which was actually a good question. It never really occurred to me. I just don't... I don't know. Maybe impatience. Because I like the effects of the splash. I mean, the effects of the splash are immediate with the burning and the you know, the post feeling, the application of the scent and all that stuff. But I don't give it enough time for a dry down. But I'm not gonna put on splash and then wait half an hour and then put on balm. What is the normal time to wait? Like 5 minutes between splash and balm? It's a good question. I didn't have an answer. I just said, I don't know. It's just the way I do it. The way I roll, I guess. I don't think it's a waste. Because the point he brought up was like, wouldn't that introduce the potential for frag burn? I said, I have no idea. Not for me. So, very cool point. But, yeah. All right, guys. Another good one. Rain held off. How about that? Can't believe it. I thought for sure there'd be thunder and lightning and everything else going on in the background. So keep an eye out for this stuff. Sean's going to be introducing it at some point. I'm pretty sure this year. Before the end of this year, if all goes well for him. Hopefully it does. He's a good dude. He's going through stuff involving shipping and all kinds of BS. So, wish him well. Everyone who watched this, people who watch this, I should do this at the beginning of the video. And I remind myself, the last 2 videos, I reminded myself to do it, and I completely forgot altogether. But a lot of you are like repeat viewers. You come back with every video. Quite a few of you, man. And you take the time to watch it, and then you take the time to comment. It really means a lot to me. I haven't been getting a lot of subscribers, excuse me, a lot of subscribers on here, but I've been having a blast. Just the interaction with you guys has been awesome, and it means the world to me. It really does. I can't say that enough, or even describe properly how much that means. Because I do. At this point now, I'll upload it, and then I wait, good or bad. Like, let's see what people say, and you guys never let me down. So, bottom of my heart, thank you guys so very much. I mean it. It does mean a lot. So, thank you. Especially if you get to the end of these. This one's going to be long. So, whatever. Alright. Thank you guys for watching. Really appreciate it. Hope that was good. I now have a list of topics. I have a good one that was referred to me by a friend. Dustin, how are you, buddy? So, I'm probably going to look into that one and do that one within the next video or 2. Can't wait. It's a good one. But, all right, everyone, thank you. Really appreciate it. Take care. Be safe. And enjoy the last death throes of summer as we go into autumn. Cannot wait. Take care.